mother doesn't have an education. You know, my mother never really had her dad in her life or her mom, and when her mom was there, she would get physically abused, and my grandma almost killed my mom at some point, and I knew these things, so I was very understanding towards my mother, because I'm like, you know, mama, like, I see where you're coming from. I see why you act the way you do. I see why you treat me the way you do. But if you were treated that way, why do you do this to us? I just didn't get it, you know? I just didn't understand it. But now that I'm older, I understand it. See, I had to learn a lot from my mom. I had to become like my mom and hurt people like my mama did, so that I realized that attitude, me having anger issues, me blacking out on people, me loving to fight, me yelling at people when I'm impatient and not being able to communicate and show affection, it messed up not only relationships, but it also messed up friendships. A lot of them. I lost like 2 friends in my life, and they were so good to me. They were true friends. Now, do you think that's okay? Most definitely not. Because we're supposed to love. We're supposed to love your neighbor as thyself. But you know what though? It's kind of hard to love your neighbor as thyself when you don't know your identity. When you don't know who you are. When you know you want to be nice, but you don't know how to be nice because all your life, love and kindness were not shown to you. As I grew older, as I lost people in my life, as I went from foster home to foster home to, you know, group home to group home and shelter to shelter and, you know, stuff like that, I just realized, there is a common denominator here. And that denominator is me. You know, and I realized that because every person would tell me the same thing. Jackie, your anger issues are costing you placements, people, relationships, money. Control your emotions. Control your emotions. I never understood the power of controlling your emotions and why it's so important. I'm going to talk about a time that really opened my eyes, okay? I was living in a place in Hollywood, and it was such an amazing place, okay? So in this place, basically, like, I had my own apartment. I had my own apartment and my own space, everything. It was mine. But it was, of course, because I was in the foster care system, so they provided me with that, you know? And a roommate moved in. It was that she didn't have any, like, cleanliness skills, you know, and it would really irritate me. And so, because I had chose not to deal with it at that time, I got so angry one time, and I told her, you know, can you wash the dish? Like, I'm not gonna keep washing them for you. And what happened was, she gave me an attitude back, and instead of me walking away and communicating to my RA, like, hey, you know, like, I already told her, may you please help me, you know, with this situation before it escalates. Guess what I decided to do? I decided to wash the dish, and then I fought her. And guess what happened? Guess what my consequence was? I didn't call my RA, but she did after I did that. And I got kicked out and ended up becoming homeless because I lost my place. And it was just a lot. It has been a journey for me, a very long journey. Well, I got a news for you, okay? Usually God, the universe, whatever you guys prefer to call it, will allow the same thing to keep happening to you over and over and over again until you either learn the lesson or develop a different, you know, technique so that you can switch your situation around and shift it. So if you catch yourself going through the same situations over and over, it's like a cycle, you know? Then that means either you have to change something, remove something, or add something. And that's up for you to decide. But okay? Look, this is why I'm developing my website. This is why I'm gonna continue to do videos. This is why I'm gonna continue to share some of the obstacles that I've been through in my life and how I overcame them, you know? And while I'm at it, I'm also gonna provide y'all with some resources so that there's also like other people out there that can most definitely help.